Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the extras bit of Adiraiju Plays Deadly Creatures. Today, we are going to be heading into the next part. Well, actually, we're going to be heading into our first save file, which I 100%ed off screen, got every bug, every grub, every leaf cricket, and we will be going through a number of different things, largely, well, these which were promotional images for the game's enemies, but also some artwork, conceptual artwork, and a couple of interviews with Billy Bob Thornton and Dennis Hopper. There's not a whole lot I can say about these things, but they do reveal a couple of other things that were intended to be in the game but never quite made it, such as a very large raven or crow type enemy. And I'll just leave you to see the rest of what the deadly creatures I'll just leave you to see what the rest of this game has to offer. See you around.
Well, the main thing that surprised me about Deadly Creatures is the way it looks. Because my kids play video games, and a lot of them are a little bit, I mean, sometimes they almost look like stop motion. They can be so cheesy. And this one is, it's kind of like watching a movie, in a lot of ways.
Now I'm doing the actor part. This is the part where I'll look through here and see how much of this I have to do.
Well, I've always been fascinated by rattlesnakes, and that's one. But I got to tell you that I mean the two main characters, I guess you'd say, the scorpion and the tarantula, really, they're like these legendary guys when they first meet up, and it was. With the music going along with it and everything, it was just very intense moment. So it was almost like two actors meeting each other in a gunfight or something, you know, in a 40s Western, like Gary Cooper meeting Kirk Douglas or something like that. And so I'd have to say, I got to tell you, I'm kind of impressed by the scorpion. That tail, I'd say that has to be my favorite thing of any of the creatures.
I like it.
You know, or something like that. Like they're walking around everything. It's like, you know, I'm gonna have to loosen my drawers. They're tight or something. I don't know.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to hear a few of those.
I'm a little raw.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I guess probably I had a fascination and a fear of snakes, you know, and I kind of got along with snakes, but well, I had to. They were everywhere. I was bitten by a copperhead when I was about 12, and the rattlesnake and the coral snake. I think maybe the coral snake more than anything fascinated me because they don't have fangs like most snakes. They strike you, right? Well, a coral snake has just a little row of teeth, and that's why not many people get bitten or killed, especially by coral snakes, even though they're deadly, poisonous, you know. Because in order to bite you, they have a small kind of mouth. They have to actually get in, like in between your fingers or something, like where there's a small spot where they can do it. And when they bite you, they saw it like that. They chew you like that. And I always thought, wow, that's kind of cool if you like being terrified. But there was something about them, just that the stripes, you know, and there used to be a saying about coral snakes, because there's a king snake that looks just like a coral snake, only the stripes are different, in a different order. And it was some kind of saying like, red and yellow, friendly fellow, red and black, get back. So, in other words, if the black ones touch the red ones, or something like that. But yeah, coral snakes fascinated me. Man alive, I'm raw. I mean, my nuts, feels like I cut them with a razor blade and poured alcohol on it. You know, sometimes when you sweat and you walk a lot in these kind of britches, it does that to you. You know what I mean. You raw? When I first came to California, on the first run, I came to California originally to San Diego. I was too afraid to come to LA, and I lived with my aunt and uncle and my cousins for about a half a year. And I had this, it was really my cousin's snake, but he kind of gave it to me. It was a rosy boa. And you know, she was like, you know, that long, maybe like 2 feet long or whatever it was. And I was playing with a band down in Lemon Grove, California, which is just south of San Diego there. And I was going to band rehearsal one night, and I had this old beat up car that the, what do you call it, the console didn't shut good. And that's kind of where I kept the snake when I was on the way down there, because the guys thought it'd be a fun idea if we used the snake in the show like Alice Cooper, right? Of course, Alice had a huge snake, and this was just like this little rosy boa. And she was fine. I mean, she wouldn't bite at you unless you like popped her in the nose or something. I used to do that for fun every now and then. We played with each other. So anyway, I'm driving down to Lemon Grove for band rehearsal from a little town called Lakeside, which is there by San Diego. And I have the snake in the console. And I'm driving along, and in those days I had really long hair. It was down to almost like my waist. And I had big Ted Nugent-like hair. And the snake gets out of the console, which I was used to, and she liked to wrap herself around your arm. So she wraps herself around my arm, starts crawling up, and so she goes into my hair. And it gets up in here, so half of her's still down my arm, the rest is here. And then she comes out of my hair, right here. And I'm at a stoplight, and I looked over, and there's this old couple sitting next to me, and I look over, and so here's this long-haired Ted Nugent-looking guy with a snake that looks like it's coming out of his head. You know, it was pretty weird. And the woman looked like she was going to have like an aneurysm or something, right, or a coronary or something right on the spot. And after that, I started doing it all the time. I'd kind of encourage her to get up here when I was in traffic so she could, you know, come out of my hair and stuff. Yeah. And George Struggs, he got what's coming to him.
What we'll record is just bounty hunters were still coming after both of them, so they buried the gold out somewhere here.
Bounty hunters were still coming after both of them, so they buried the gold out here somewhere. George Struggs, his father left him an old filling station on Route 66, and he also left him half a map. Looms, the man that had the gold, his brother died, and he mistakenly buried half of the map in his brother's suit jacket. His father was too drunk to go out and actually try to find the other half of the map and find the gold. His dad's been dead only probably a year or so. And that's when he runs into Wade.
We can just move forward now. So I'll play the Billy Bob line that precedes, because he was a drunk, so you have context for that.
Are you sure this is the right place? And we could be doing this all day if it ain't.
You just keep digging.
Do you want to continue with this approach, or do you want to? Pardon me?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, good stuff.
So he convinces Wade to go out with him with his half map out into the desert where there are all these incredible creatures, scorpions and tarantulas, and an underworld constantly bubbling up and fighting with each other while they're on the top doing pretty much the same. So you have to get the game to be able to understand how it all comes together. A little bit more what?
Annoyed with Wade.
Are you sure this is the right place? And we could be doing this all day if it ain't.
This is it. Just keep digging.
Good.
It all fell apart.
That's 'cause it's dried horse crap.
What? Well, what'd you do that for?
I didn't do nothing. You're the one rubbing crap on himself. Stop messing around.
Have you ever seen, like, scorpions and stuff out here?
It's the desert.
Well, this guy I know, he got stung in the ass by one of them one time. Little son of a bitch crawled out of a toilet seat and whap, stung him.
Swelling, numbness, sometimes involuntary twitching. So your balls would likely blow up to the size of cantaloupes filled with Mexican jumping beans.
Good with you, Jordan?
That's very funny.
Talk. One more time for safety.
You want to start with "This is it, keep digging"?
That's the only line I need you to capture. Just
All right.
more annoyed version of that.
This is it. Keep digging. No, this is it. Now you keep digging. This is it. Keep digging. Here, let me see that. 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 Right where I said it was. Right where I said it was. Right where I said it was. If I had a choice between a scorpion and a tarantula in our story, because the tarantula has little different powers than a normal tarantula, because he can throw a web on any of the other insects and things and capture them. And you can come up to them and inject them with poison. Whereas the scorpion is still out there trashing around, putting his tail through things and through walls and being able to destroy and whatever, wreak havoc. I think I'd rather be the tarantula. It seems like a much mellower way to go at things by throwing a net and going up and poisoning them later. Not all of it forgotten.
Ah, where are you, you little...
They see everything,
You come out, you sneaky little bastard.
and they remember.
Come on, I got something for you.
It's alive. Very much alive.
Oh, I'm gonna put you in a paperweight and I'm gonna sell you to the tourists.
You never know what's gonna be waiting for you.